This is Evan Odenbach, and I'll be talking about my final project. Uh, so I'm just going to start, and I'm just going to go through the entire project, kind of talking about things that I did and why I did them and stuff like that. So the first part was, just I imported all the stuff that I was going to use right at the beginning, so I didn't have to worry about it later. I read the file. I just did the shapes, 0 and 1 to get rows and columns, and printed it out. This one I had a little trouble with in the beginning just because it was giving me a bit of a trip up of how to actually find the coordinate of the column and row. So it took a little bit, but I used the dot lock of the title that matches with the song, the index of like the row, because I needed, like, the hard part was I couldn't find the row to equal that. So I used that to find the row, and then I used dot at between that and the column. And that's what I ended up doing, because I tried to just have this be in your eyes, and I think maybe I could have put this all in here, but it made it look better if it was just two separate lines. So I used this kind of code a lot in the rest of the project, just with finding the positions of the different words for the specific songs. So this will show up a lot. This one, because it's just percentage, I figured that all of the rows would add up to 1. And yeah, it does. It's a lot of information, but they all add up to 1. Okay, imported that. Just tested to make sure that the all the columns were there. Missing the first 3 because of title, artist, genre, and just if that's true, say it's true. This one just took the, like, if it matched, if the string and stem and word matched, and I assigned that to a different column called match, and then I just went through the entire data frame checking to see if match was equal to true, and then I just took that, like the size of that, divided it by the total amount of rows, and then multiplied it by 100 to get the percentage of unchanged words. This one is pretty much just that same kind of stuff I was talking about with finding the row of what I was looking for, and then just putting it under stem and see if it matched, and then printing it. No, not seeing if it matched, sorry, but just finding the stemmed version of the word message. And then same thing for this one, just flipped. And this one was generally the same idea. I just took I set a new column of the data frame to the difference between the word and the stem. Put the word first because there's no way the stem is longer, so I wouldn't have to deal with negative numbers. And I just took this, this stuff, found the most shortened. That was pretty much it. Oh, wait, no. I think I know what it did. I didn't include it, but I think I used the 7 because I didn't have it in here, but I think for whatever reason, I didn't include it. But I ran a separate line separately that found the highest value of diff. I don't know why I didn't include it, but it was 7. And so I just found the location of 7 and then at that 1, and that was international. But yeah, so I took this vocab mapping diff, the new column. I found I guess I got rid of the code for some reason. Sorry about that. But just to find the longest, or the biggest digit. And I guess that was 7. And so then I found where 7 was and what row that was under word. And that was international. So that's how I did that. This one I just made training and testing sets. The training was this big, testing was this big, nothing too much there. I took the the graph of, yeah, I made the graph. This is actually taking longer than I thought, so I'm going to speed this up a bit. But this one, it's a bit sloppy. I think I could have done this better, but it worked. So like I think I used a lot of extra stuff I didn't need to. But yeah, here it was, and it worked. It said it was close, or it was closer to country. It was country. This was just the distance between two features, and the distance between these two with these words were individually like 113.08 and 113.12. So this was the only problem I actually encountered while doing this code. And it was because, I'm pretty sure it was because of this line. I couldn't figure out really a way to get the title that I wanted into this, the title one, and it just, I just couldn't figure it out. So sorry about that. And so then I have all the code for this one that I'm pretty sure is right, but I couldn't actually run it because I never got this line to work with the whatever. But I did make close songs with the 7 smallest ones, with all the sorting and all that stuff. So the rest of it is fine, but this one I got the distance, that one worked. This is what I did for, I picked these 20 ones because I wanted stuff that, like, my whole decision making was I was going to go mostly to try to find country and then decide if it was country or not country. So I picked like half words that I thought would just appear in like all of them, and then specific ones that I thought would only show up in country. Like I figured like God, sky, life, shotgun, stuff like that would show up more often in country songs. So that's why I did that. And then I found the location of all of these. So I had them tied to specific values that I then put those values in instead of having to deal with all of the actual words. I had them set as values so that I could roll through them. And I calculated the distance between all that stuff and put it in a new column. Same thing with here. It worked, pretty sure. For the 3.5. The classifier, I originally, it was pretty big and lengthy, it didn't work, but I just kind of looked over my other notes and really trimmed it down to what I needed to. Because the big part was I was trying to do all of this classifying of the words, like what this was, in the code, but I realized that I could just have it set up as I just give it all of these values, and that made it a lot easier. It made the actual line kind of long, but it made the description a lot shorter. Yeah, because I had all the features in the array, and then I had all the locations, like this line, instead of just the song title. And then for the grandpa genre, put that in there, and it worked. It was a country song, so I made a new testing set with only 20, and I calculated the accuracy, got 0.85. And with the new ones, the new words, I did the same thing. I just assigned them values, so that made it easier to just put in the values of the classify instead of having to deal with that in the code. And then the accuracy of the staff one was 0.75. Probably just because they used half as many things as I did. I used 20, they used 10. So it's just going to be naturally, I think, be better to have more, which is why mine was a whole 10% higher. And yeah, that was my project.